Hi, I'm Dave Stech, co-founder of SDIRA Mastermind, and thanks for joining me. I was having a chat the other day with Jeff Watson, my business partner in SDIRA Mastermind, and we thought it was important that I share my IRA story with you. Now, I'll warn you in advance that it's not pretty, but the good news is there's a happy ending. Now, before I share the story, I think it's important you know a little about me. Those of you that know that I grew up in a trailer park for the first 12 years of my life. My mom and my dad both had 8th grade educations. My mom was one of 10 kids and my dad was one of 4, and those 14 siblings had 60 children. Yeah, 60. And as life would have it, I was the only one of the 60 to go to college after high school. Now, I don't know why that happens, but I suspect it has something to do with my desire for a better life. You see, my dad was an iron worker, and he was on the job one day, and due to some faulty concrete, he actually fell from the 5th floor of the Sears Tower when it was being built, and he was out of work for 22 months. During those 22 months, we had little to nothing, and we ate mayonnaise sandwiches every day, every meal for 22 months. And I really think it was then that I decided to be filthy, stinking rich. Anyway, I went to Purdue University undergraduate, and when I graduated, I had 2 great options. I was admitted to law school, and I had a job offer. In the end, I took the job with Kodak because I just couldn't imagine spending the next 10 or 20 years paying off student loans. So I chose corporate America, and then if you fast forward 20 years, it was time for me to leave corporate America and time to take my IRA with me. Now, a well-meaning friend referred me to his stockbroker at Merrill Lynch, and I rolled over my 401k. Now, this wasn't just any old 401k, it was mine, and it was a big deal to me. You see, it represented over 20 years of hard-earned savings. I grew up with nothing, and I was a consummate saver. Well, every Friday when I got my paycheck, I had the maximum amount deducted, and I saved and sacrificed for over 20 years. In fact, on the first day of every month, I'd call and I'd actually get the balance just so I could watch it grow. Now, I was naturally conservative, having grown up with nothing, so I put it in a fixed interest rate plan. So I wasn't getting rich, but it was growing every single month and I could see it. Now, I don't know if you've ever been that dedicated at saving money, but it was really satisfying for me to see this frugal lifestyle that I'd been living starting to pay off. And I could actually see life at the end of the tunnel. Not light, but life. It was financial freedom. I'd even charted it every month, and I knew I was going to be a millionaire at exactly 62.3 years old. So when I left corporate America and I transferred my money to the only broker that I'd ever known, I told him that I wanted to invest in the most conservative investments known to man. And of course, he promised to do so. Now, you know where this story's going, right? Yeah. He and his friends at Merrill Lynch proceeded to lose $250,000 of my life savings. Now, if that's happened to you or someone you know or love, you know exactly what I mean. You know, it's not like the stories that you see or read in the news. It's personal. And here was the salt in the wound. The CEO, Stanley O'Neill, was fired that year after steering the company into $8 billion in losses in 1 year. So to punish him, the board awarded him a severance package of $161,500,000. And $250,000 of that was mine. You saw him. He was one of the many Wall Streeters that appeared before Congress with his hand raised and swore to tell the truth, but nothing happened to him. It was a big charade. Well, here's where the lemon turns to lemonade. You know how they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears? Well, my teacher appeared on stage. She actually worked for a self-directed IRA company and told the audience that you could manage your own money and retire tax-free. I could not transfer my money fast enough into that self-directed IRA. I started buying real estate and doing deals, and I haven't looked back. Well, there was another time that I set a goal, and I set a goal to just add a zero to that IRA, and I did. And so is Jeff. In fact, Jeff did it on one deal. And now it happens a lot quicker for both of us because we now know the tricks of the trade. Well, now's the time to help others do the same. And that's where you come in. We've assembled an A team that you'll meet if you qualify. This team combined has done ourselves or with other investors over 10,000 self-directed IRA transactions. That is a lot of deals. So keep reading. I'll be back with you a little later. And for those of you who've heard enough and you know this is exactly what you need, scroll down, complete the application, and Jeff and I will review it and get back to you soon. Thanks again.